Like, we started selling this product out of the trunk of our cars.
Don't be afraid to fail.
Inventory management is about balance.
Get the product out. That's number one.
I've always preached sustainable growth.
So we just started building community.
Look at the data.
Product development is everything.
Yeah, we say we're a brick, click, and pop.
But you have to love what you do.
I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Miranda Babbitt. Miranda is a platform marketer at Thinkific. Thinkific is a platform dedicated to empowering course creators to share their expertise with the world. Fueled by her passion for democratizing the power of technology, she's on a mission to help entrepreneurs around the globe scale their businesses. She's got a background in social impact and community building. And right now she's channeling all her energy into growing the Thinkific Partner Program and the Thinkific App Store. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm really pleased to introduce to you Miranda Babbitt.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you so much for that introduction, Ta. Here, let me share my screen. 1 second. I'm so happy to be here today. Okay, you guys see a Thinkific presentation? Some nods maybe from Ivana. Great.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Fantastic. So thank you so much, Scott. I learned a bunch there. I can't wait for maybe some questions at the end as well. But I'm coming from Thinkific. I joined the team a couple of months ago, and one of the first things that I learned was all about the relationship that we have with Shopify. And I kid you not, the whole time I was learning about this, I was like, I feel like both of these platforms were just designed with each other in mind because they're incredibly complementary. My focus today is sharing a little bit about how that partnership works and helping you see how you can monetize your existing expertise into a new revenue stream. Sounds pretty sweet, am I right? So yeah, what I'll do is I'll give a brief overview of what Thinkific is, and then we'll jump into how this partnership works, and then we have some time at the end for questions and answers. So Thinkific is an all-in-one platform that just makes it really easy for you to share your knowledge, grow your audience, and scale the business that you already love. So at the end of the day, whether your course has 10 students or 10 million students, we have the easiest technology in the business and also award-winning support teams. So every step of the way, you can feel really, really supported when you're working with Thinkific. So when I say an all-in-one platform, I mean, if you're new to like the education tech sector, which I know I was, what exactly is the all referring to in the all-in-one? So all this means is that Thinkific supports you at every stage of that course creation journey. From the first moment that you're like, okay, I do have some knowledge that I think I could share. How am I going to create this content? We have a really easy drag and drop course builder for you. Content and site hosting, everything is seamless. And then comes to sharing your wonderful course with the world. We have market and selling tools that enable you to do that with ease. You don't need to be a marketing expert. We have so many partnerships that make that really easy for you. And then, of course, it's making sure that the students who have signed up for your course are having a winning experience. And so that at the end of their course, they text 20 of their friends saying, oh my gosh, you have to take this course that I just did. So let's jump into a little bit more of each of these stages, and then we can jump into how we work exactly with Shopify. So building your course. Now, we're firm believers that at Thinkific, if you're a mom and there's that joke where it's like, every time you need to do something on the computer, you call your teenage daughter or your teenage son. You don't need to do that with Thinkific. Everything is very intuitive. It's drag and drop course building. You can add quizzes right into the course experience. You can collect assignments. And we've ready-made templates for you to use as well. So you don't need to have like a teaching background or an instructional design background to really create a beautiful course. Once that course is created, we want to provide you with a gorgeous home to showcase it. So similar to Shopify, there are all these themes that you can choose from for your store. Well, on Thinkific, we also do offer course creators similar themes that are optimized to sell courses. So, as Scott said earlier, if there's no social proof, do you even exist? Or whoever said that, great point. So there's social proof embedded right into these themes. There's cool little cards that showcase what they'll be learning along the way. And yeah, biographies of the instructors that they'll be getting to know. So it's really a beautiful package of themes that we're really proud of. That said, if you've already put a bunch of energy into, say, a Shopify store, then you can easily just add your courses directly into your Shopify store. So you can bypass the site, but I do like to bring it up because it is optimized for selling courses. And then, of course, yeah, there's marketing and selling it. Pretty critical step after you've put all this energy into creating a beautiful course. We've recently launched, I'm talking May 4th, the new Thinkific App Store. There are 30 apps that have been handpicked based on what course creators have been asking for. So we've been around 9 years. We have really close relationships with the people who use our platform. And we went through a huge research process trying to identify, okay, what are your favorite integrations? What do you want more of? What are some obstacles that we can find a partner app to help you overcome those? So the apps that are in the Thinkific App Store now are designed for course creators. So with those e-commerce options that are making it really easy for people to share these courses with no marketing backgrounds, we've seen this community grow to over $650 million in revenue through selling courses to date, which just boggles my mind every time. And then, of course, yeah, as I mentioned, it's supporting your students. So we want you to have the happiest students, the happiest customers in the world. That means you need to know what they're experiencing. So we have tools built into your course builders so that you can see where are students getting hung up, what are the lessons that they're spending the longest on, embedding discussions into the course experience so it feels social. And even sending out automated progress emails. So if they've completed a chapter and now they're on to the next one, you can set personalized kind of encouraging messages that they can have along the way. Quickly, before I go into the Shopify, yeah, because of this, we've seen such growth every single year, but it's getting really, really exciting over the last couple years in particular. So last year in 2020, our course creators earned $276 million USD through course sales. And this is really just the beginning for Thinkific and for the education tech sector. By 2028, the value of this sector in general is going to be projected to be $377 billion. So we're really just on the cusp, and we're seeing more and more entrepreneurs jumping into the course creation game to support their existing revenue streams or adding a completely new one. So on to the exciting stuff, what you've come here today to learn more about. How can your existing Shopify store or the Shopify store that you're dreaming up right now, how does it work together with Thinkific? So in early 2020, we launched our Thinkific app in the Shopify App Store. And we've seen such an immense amount of success in such a short period of time. There are now over 3,300 merchants who are leveraging our platform and including courses for their customers to grow their business to new heights. One example that I wanted to highlight right off the bat so that you can have an idea of the types of entrepreneurs who are using this integration is Beauty Inc. Canada. So Cheryl Gatsky is the founder and CEO of Beauty Inc. Canada. She is a lash and brow lamination beauty educator. So she certifies these experts so that they can then create their own businesses. And she also sells lash and brow products on her Shopify store. She put together 6 courses through this course builder. And in the first month of launching, she doubled her income. And then 2020 was the first 6-figure year that she had. So we're super proud of Cheryl Gatsky. She put all of those courses together, 6 of them in about a month, or maybe even less, like a couple of weeks. So that is a testament to just how easy it is putting together these courses. Another quick example that I wanted to highlight is Shopify itself for their Shopify for Startups Accelerator program. So this is for very kind of high potential startups who have been recommended to go through this partnered accelerator program, and they use our platform to provide that education. So really, there are 3 key reasons why you want to add a course or multiple courses to your Shopify store. The first is getting revenue for your knowledge. I think a lot of the time, entrepreneurs at the start, right before you open your Shopify store, there might be a little bit of an imposter syndrome. But once you've opened that Shopify store, you have a lot of expertise and education in that subject matter area that you just launched your store in, or even just in the area of launching a business. So don't undersell yourself. I guarantee that every one of you listening now has the education that they need or the knowledge that they need to provide education to others. The second big reason is increasing customer loyalty. So having courses shows to your customers that you really want to provide a ton of value to them in a really unique way. So yeah, you're selling these amazing products, but how else can you bring them into your community and create those relationships with them? The last point is growing your audience. So having a course up or multiple courses, it's another form of content marketing, which if you aren't too familiar with that term, it's just a way of slowly nurturing prospective customers to really interact with your brand through things like YouTube videos, blog posts, or courses, where it can be your face or someone on your team who's showcasing your products in action or speaking to your area of expertise. So at this point, you might be thinking, okay, yeah, this sounds pretty incredible, but it sounds like a lot of work. And I'm here to say it's not a lot of work. It's so simple for people to use. We have templates, which I'll get into a little bit more now. So any type of course that you want to build, whether it's a really quick course or like a flagship, more advanced course, we have templates for. So it'll tell you, okay, introduce yourself with a video here. Okay, now introduce what they'll be learning. Okay, now introduce a quick quiz so that you can get to know your students. So as an example of something quick, let's say you have a really large Instagram following. You could have a quick course within your Shopify store that just focuses on how you use hashtags to grow your Instagram business or how to take photos better. Another kind of larger idea for a flagship course would be, let's say if you're selling clothing online, what about kind of a whole course where they can get to know you and your team, and it's a styling course, or how to shop sustainably? The second obstacle that I sometimes hear is that I have no content. You know, my products, I don't really think they can be tied to a course. Well, first of all, reach out to us because we love having those conversations, and there's always creative ideas that we can help you through with. But let's say if you are a cooking blogger or something, you could look into your most popular recipes and then just for those, provide a step-by-step course for people to purchase so that they can cook alongside you. So it's like a cooking class within their own home. Or let's say if some of the products that you're selling are quite expensive, like a drone, chances are someone who has just purchased a drone will want some guidance on how to use that drone so that they don't break the thing and so that they can get the most value out of it possible. Also, I mean, there's so much saturation in a ton of these markets right now that you don't necessarily need to sell the course. You can offer courses for free so that they support an existing revenue stream and just help you stand out more than the rest. I also want to touch on that we are the only course creator platform right now that has an entirely free plan. And this isn't free as in the sense, it's free for 2 weeks and then you got to pay $100 a month, or it's free, but you only have like 2 features and it's practically unusable. You know, people are making real money just with the free plan. An example that I love to bring up is one of our colleagues' friends. She's a personal trainer. Obviously, through COVID-19, her entire business was at risk. And then not only that, she started hearing from clients that they might, not want to be spending half an hour to drive into her beautiful studio anymore. Their priorities have shifted, but they still want to support her and her style of training. So she's created these courses that come out each month that people can purchase. And it's been an incredible way for her to sustain her business through this time and to make it more sustainable. I'm going to do a quick time check. I'm okay for now, right? Okay, good. So yeah, here's a few more examples of stores that have combined courses to grow their business. So let's say you have a beauty store, you offer gorgeous makeup and skincare products. I guarantee you people want to learn about your skincare regimen and what led you to creating that business. They can see how you're using the courses together or products together, what other types of products you may want to use. Another one would be if you are already offering ebooks. Courses are a really natural complement to that, so that people who have purchased your ebook, they might want an even more in-depth kind of interaction with your content. And then the next one, would be like a styling course to your fashion store. Here's the integration in real action. So on this fitness equipment store, you can see over here that there's the courses just at the bottom there. For the drone store that I highlighted, they have really accessible, but still somewhat expensive courses because they know that those types of customers will purchase them. Supplements, so you can have recipes that are gatekept by a certain price, which does enhance the perceived value. And that's that. I feel like I blew through that. Hopefully there's some questions that I can chat through now. But yeah, this will be sent over to you. If you have any ideas and you want to chat through them, email me at miranda.b@thinkific.com, and I would absolutely love to chat with you.
Cool. Thank you so much, Miranda. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So questions are coming in, but I do have one actually. So maybe I'll start with mine before I go through the chat and see other questions in there. What sort of startup costs do you typically see with selling digital goods, like selling courses? So what kind of startup cost should we be thinking about if we want to do that?
So yeah, there is the cost of putting in your time, but in terms of the plans that we offer, they are really, really affordable. Even with the most basic plan, that's at around $49 a month. And then you can have unlimited courses, really engaging ways to interact with your students. But again, because the free plan is so fantastic, that's kind of what I recommend people start with, because there's no startup costs. It's putting aside some time like Cheryl did on a few weekends and using our built-in templates to test it out with some friends and family, do a soft launch with your existing customers. Yeah, that's really the beauty. Mm-hmm.
And actually I'll share the results of our poll about who in here is currently selling digital products. And it looks like, the majority aren't, and a quarter are thinking about it. So I think it's always interesting because, even like Carrie in the chat said, she just started selling artwork, but she's having a hard time thinking up any type of course content. But right away, I think about, and I cannot believe I'm forgetting this guy's name right now, but that guy with the curly hair that always used to.
Oh, Bob Ross.
What's that?
Bob Ross?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot his name. But people would watch him paint for, an hour. So there is, there's definitely, I think, a market for something like that. And
absolutely.
Yeah. And full disclosure, Merchant Mastery is hosted on Thinkific as well. And when I first went in there, kind of setting it up, and Scott was setting it up as well, it is so intuitive, so easy. It's very user-friendly. It's so easy to add students and add courses, and you can customize it. And, we integrated it with our Shopify store, and it was seamless. So definitely, nothing to be afraid of. It's a very, very easy tool to use.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, we have some questions. Anta, did you want to?
Oh, yes, we do. We have questions. Yeah, sure. So Anik is asking, can you give an example of how a jewelry store would do courses, free or paid?
Yeah, a jewelry course. That's awesome. So for a jewelry course, there could either be like a free course, I think, that you could offer of styling a bunch of jewelry, or you could, I'm not sure what type of jewelry you are selling, but you could branch out and even offer like a jewelry making lesson, something that is still in your aesthetic and style, and then you can spend some time with those prospective customers. Or even just a more kind of educational course that is about breaking into the jewelry business. I know that's a huge business right now. I mean, I have a couple of friends who are thinking of launching jewelry lines, and it's very daunting. So if you were someone who is able to connect with, budding entrepreneurs in that space and get some thought leadership potential, I could see that being a huge differentiator for sure.
Cool.
Yeah. And I think like teaching something seems like very scary because, you kind of, I think you alluded to that, but sometimes you feel like it's like imposter syndrome and it's like, do I have anything to teach? Do people want to listen to me? But honestly, the best way to even become really good at something is to teach it because it forces you to learn all of it. And there's always going to be more stuff you can learn. But I think it's a great opportunity to just even learn more about something as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And so Lakisha is asking about a body butter business, but I think it also ties into what you said about the jewelry business, Lakisha. So I figure that kind of answers it. And Jack is asking about so Jack and Kerry have similar questions about Shopify and Thinkific and that integration. How do you find Thinkific on the Shopify App Store, and what are the benefits of using the Shopify app with Thinkific, both of them?
Yeah. So, I mean, for the Shopify, for most people here, you likely have Shopify accounts. So you would go to the Shopify App Store and download the Thinkific app, and then it becomes embedded into your store. And what happens is you then have this account that's created with Thinkific, and you create all of your courses there. Once you publish that course and you have the app installed on your Shopify store, it then shows up as a product on your Shopify store in whatever section that you specify. So any of like the price changes, all the pricing and payment stuff is done on Shopify, but the setting up of the course and then the experience that the students have happen in Thinkific. I recommend checking out some of the knowledge base articles that I'm linking to in my presentation. Really easy walkthroughs of how to get set up there.
And speaking of your app store, because I know you said you guys did a big launch this month.
Yeah.
Besides like Shopify, is there some other apps that you want to highlight, that are really useful for merchants?
For sure. So one is eWebinar. So that's an app that you can now add on to the Thinkific sites that I was showing earlier. And it's an automated webinar that is just a game changer for a lot of entrepreneurs and Thinkific course creators. So once someone has been on your site for a little bit, there's this like either a countdown to the next webinar or an immediate one that you can just jump into right then and there. So it's designed for these stores where, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the best time for webinars. But what about if your customers are all over the world, which is definitely the case for a lot of us? So jumping into the eWebinar, there's these questions come up throughout it that are all automated, little like announcements from you jump in the whole time. So it's really designed to convert people. Another one for Thinkific that is really exciting is all of the gamification apps. So gamification is obviously a really exciting kind of trend nowadays. And so you can earn like points and then redeem rewards in a reward store the more lessons you complete. So that's really cool because the rewards could be your products. If you're having this customer that keeps going through multiple courses, you can entice them with small little tastes of your product line, and then they'll likely be excited to purchase maybe a larger product. And one more that I would highlight would be Zoom, that is embedded right into the course builder. So it can be a very engaging experience with the students. You can meet them in real life and they can jump in, and yeah, those are a few.
Cool. So one recurring theme we're seeing in the questions is people are asking about their different industries and looking for, what kind of contents they will create that's specific to their industry. So I think you could propose with examples of all the different industries your course creators currently create in. And I have someone asking about auto parts industry. I have someone asking about body butter products. I have someone asking about all these different things, right? So give us an example of all the different industries that really your current users are in, and then maybe that could also help answer that question.
Yeah, definitely. So the demographics of the people who have courses on our platform, I wish I could show you the pie chart because it's just tiny slivers across every single industry. One that really does stand out are coaches and the health and fitness industry. Health and fitness really does align quite well with courses, either through these cooking classes or recipes or stretching sequences, even a lot of more mental health courses. Another huge theme has been working from home courses, how to stay productive. Say for that body butter business though, you could have a course about how to make maybe one of your signature ones at home. That could be fun. One that isn't like your bestseller. I wouldn't want you to sell that, but something that's fun to do with your customers. Or another one for what was one of the other ideas that popped in?
Auto industry.
Auto industry, yeah. So that one's great. I mean, a lot of people I'm sure are looking for basic know-how knowledge on fixing some things that happen to your car. I mean, I know if anything happens to my car, I'll just bring it to the shop and then pay a bunch. It can just be those things where you're like, I know that people don't actually need to take their car to the shop for this and they're shelling out $200. I don't have that expertise, but you do. I have a feeling there could be some opportunity there. Or even just like hacks on how to clean your car. I was cleaning my car the other day and it wasn't working. I must be doing something wrong or it's really dirty, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the auto parts, even just showing somebody like, here's how to flush your brakes. And, it's going to cost you way less than taking it to a mechanic. So I think that makes a lot of sense. There's a really good question here from Tony that I want to ask, because I know we always think about like courses as like an external thing, like sell it to somebody you don't know. But Tony's saying, can you use this for brand training? So, brands that have, Shopify and retail accounts, sales reps and staff to actually train that staff. So you're not using it as a revenue stream, you're using it to train your team.
Oh, brilliant. I'm so glad that question came up actually, because I was also going to include that point in my presentation, but there are so many companies that use Thinkific for training purposes. So we do have, if you're a large business, you might want to take advantage of Thinkific Plus. It has every feature under the sun to really train your employees. But yeah, no, there's we train all of our employees with Thinkific. I know, so Merchant Mastery does. I'm not sure if I can list all of them now anyway, but let me get back to you. I can include that maybe in a follow-up email, but there are some really huge organizations that use Thinkific for that purpose. And it's so great because when we're all joining these teams remotely right now, first of all, you don't want to be on a constant Zoom call maybe with your new hire, but also if you're hiring 2 people in very similar roles or multiple people, you keep repeating the same knowledge that you already have. Why not automate that through a platform like Thinkific where you can keep track of their progress? You can see how long they've spent on the courses, which is good so that they're not skimming through or anything. And then you can save time for like really meaningful questions personally with them to really make sure that they do understand everything. Brilliant question though. Yeah, it's an awesome way to use Thinkific.
Yeah, we use it for internal training as well. So we have it for Merchant Mastery, but then we use it to train new staff too.
Nice.
I think maybe we have time for like one more quick question, Enta. Oh, you're just muted.
Yeah, we have just one question, and I'll sneak in Philippe's question right here. And he says, so does it translate into different languages? So he's asking about French specifically.
Yeah, that's a great question. The specific languages that are available are on our website, but I do believe French is one where it's fully translated. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Before we go on to the next one, I just want to remind everyone to please put the questions in the Q&A so that way we can keep track and not just leave them in the chat. That would.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, Ivana, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Miranda. That was amazing. I always love hearing from Thinkific. It's a great platform. Everybody go check it out, of course. Thank you so much.